Nick really digging deep for the music beds this week. I love it. I've played this like 4 nights in a row over on that other station that I'm on, right. And every night somebody calls like, yeah, NERD. You can't get enough of it.
I love that song.
Just in case you're wondering, you are listening to Fantasy Football 101 here on Sports Radio 1450. Adam Stark alongside Eric Pedigo, Mark Ram, and Nick Orelli taking your phone calls at 529-1450. 529-1450 is the phone number. Guys, let's run through some of the big names that are going to have some big games this week. Last week, we always run through our studs, duds, and sleepers. I want to save that for a little bit later on. But what do you guys think about – there's a lot of big games. I want to touch on some of the games. I know we don't just, make picks, but these are some key games, key matchups, and some big names will have some big weeks in your fantasy leagues this week. What do you think about T.O.? Obviously, he's running his mouth now again. Big shocker there. He did have a touchdown last week on his birthday, but only 3 receptions, so I guess he wasn't a stud like I wanted him to be, but he did get in the end zone. Do you think Romo can find him this week in the end zone?
Well, Adam, you're the resident T.O. expert. What do you think about T.O.?
I just wish he'd be quiet, but I know he's not gonna, so I think he's still going to have a decent week. I mean, he's still T.O. on the football field. Tony Romo's still Tony Romo on the football field. Problem is they're playing the Giants.
Yeah, boy, the Giants' defense is just so good. But, it's T.O., so you have to plug him in no matter what. And, sometimes when these remarks come out, it can be it can have a really negative impact on a team and how they perform. But sometimes it works the opposite way, and it kind of lights a fire. And, this might be a week that Romo connects with T.O. just to shut him up and throws him 10 balls, and maybe he'll haul in 5 of them.
I had a listener email me, and he asked about Romo, and I told him, I said, I think this whole drama thing, T.O. and Romo this week, will work in their advantage. I think, quite honestly, that T.O. will have a good week because I think Jerry Jones is going to tell the coaching staff, get T.O. the ball, because we win when T.O. gets the ball. But I really think that the Dallas team will have a good week offensively. I think Romo will make a point to find T.O. and get him, 7, 8 passes and then maybe a score. So I think it'd be a good play this week.
And here's the other thing. When you're going up against a team like the Giants, it's such a tough defense. This is no cupcake. You have to use your best players and your best weapons to compete. So they need to use T.O. I mean, it's a necessity to throw him the ball, not just to shut him up, but to compete in this game.
529-1450 is the phone number. In your email, Mark, what was it? They asked Romo or Eli?
Yeah.
Tough call.
Yeah, he wanted to know whether to play Romo or Eli, and it was a tough call. I could see pluses on both sides, but I just really think that Dallas will pull it off this week, and I think Romo's the way to go this week.
Another big game with a big name, Pittsburgh at Baltimore. Willie Parker, a little bit of a risk to play this week. Would you put him in your lineup?
I just couldn't do it. The guy hasn't shown me he can consistently play a full game at 100%. I just couldn't play him.
I think the wise choice would be to stay away from pretty much everyone in this game. This could be a low scoring game, even though Baltimore is offensively the hottest team in the league right now. They're scoring. We talked before the one of the breaks. They're scoring like 30 points a game over the last 8 weeks, which is incredible. But this is going to be the week that they get shut down, and I think it's going to be a low-scoring affair.
This has got the looks of like a 17-14 game at tops. I'm like you. I think you stay away from the players in this game entirely.
Should be another good game, though. Another one on the schedule, Tampa Bay at Atlanta. We talked about Turner a little bit. Do you play Turner? Obviously, we liked him earlier, but that guy had a lot to choose from. If you're stuck, well, I don't know if you're stuck with Turner. You definitely want to put him in there. What about a guy like Matt Ryan, though, in a game like this?
Well, Tampa Bay's defense last week really didn't look like you normally see the Tampa Bay defense look. I think, if depending on what your options are, I don't think Ryan's all that bad a play.
Well, that Tampa Bay defense, I have a feeling they may bounce back because they're a much better defense than we saw last week. hopefully you have somebody better and more consistent than Matt Ryan. Every now and then he comes out and throws for under 200 yards and only one touchdown. This could be one of those weeks, actually, because I think Tampa Bay will probably respond to that drubbing they took last week and actually step up a little bit and play a little bit of defense. But a guy like Michael Turner, you have to start every week. I mean, this is Michael. He's one of the top 5 backs in the league. You have to plug him in every week, regardless of the opponent.
Big game for both teams. 529-1450 is the phone number. Another big game, Minnesota at Arizona. Obviously, you can't sit Adrian Peterson, but do you play a guy like Kurt Warner this week?
Another guy you always have to start. I mean, Kurt Warner you have to start every week, even though Minnesota's a tough D. Mark, you have to start Kurt Warner.
I think you do. You wonder when Arizona is going to start sitting Warner a little bit and putting Leinart in, but I don't think it's going to be this week. I think you go ahead and play Warner. There's no way you can sit Kurt Warner for what he's done this year.
I mean, we thought this guy would be out, by week 7. Remember, we were saying earlier in the season, hey, if you got Kurt Warner, he's like a can of Fix-A-Flat. He'll get you down the road, but you're going to have to address the problems soon enough. But he's an MVP candidate. He has been on fire all season. Kurt Warner, former bag boy.
Yep, well, he's another story like he was, 8 years ago?
Yeah. I was going to say, wait, Kurt Warner was a bag boy?
Yeah.
I know he won a Super Bowl.
Kurt who? Well, speaking of, the Rams hosting Seattle, someone's got to win that football game. Do you play Steven Jackson this week if you're in the playoffs?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can't sit Steven Jackson because he could just absolutely go off and have a 2 or 3 touchdown game, and which he did. He screwed me over 2 years ago by scoring 4 touchdowns. But yeah, you've got to play Jackson.
Well, and so could anyone though on Seattle. They are playing the Rams, so anyone on Seattle that looks attractive to start this week.
Yeah, players you normally wouldn't think of start when they go against the Rams all of a sudden become not bad options. Deion Branch.
Yeah, we were talking
Maurice
about
Morris.
Even Seneca Wallace. No, let's not go that far.
If you're real desperate.
Whoa.
It is playoff time. I mean, come on.
If you're real desperate.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you would have to have. You can't be that desperate at QB at playoff time now. I mean, who went out that you would have to plug in him this week? I mean, nobody's went down in the last few weeks, so Seneca Wallace should be irrelevant. Unless someone's just joking around like the consolation bracket. I think I might. I'm in 2 consolation brackets. I think I'm going to try to score the least amount of points on my team just for fun. I mean, I got nothing to lose. I'm just going to try to put out the worst lineup I can.
Yeah, I'm in consolation brackets too. I haven't even looked at my team.
You know, the game that has all kinds of fantasy points screaming is Indianapolis playing at home against Detroit. Anybody on the Indianapolis team, you've got to play. I mean, Manning could put up 350 yards, 3 scores, both receivers, Dallas Clark, Dominic Rhodes. I mean, there's no talent. They signed a guy off the practice squad. He might be worthy of a starting flex position.
I really, really like Dominic Rhodes this week. We talked before when Adai was down. Rhodes looks like the more productive back when he's in the game. It's not even close.
I mean, he looks better even when Adai plays. Rhodes looks a step and a half quicker. He gets the holes. He doesn't dance. He just looks like the better back right now. I wouldn't even, if I was Indianapolis, I wouldn't care if Adai was healthy or not. I'd start Rhodes.
I think Rhodes is going to shred Detroit.
I think you're right.
Well, it is Detroit.
Yeah. So it's not like Rhodes is such a great player. No, they're playing Detroit, so he's going to shred Detroit.
On the Detroit side, Calvin Johnson's the only guy worthy because he, at least one time a game, and we've talked about it, Eric, one time a game, he'll get that long 35, 40, 50-yard pass and score. Even Orlovsky might be able to wing it down to him one time during the game. Other than that, there's no one on Detroit that I'd even think of starting.
No way. 529-1450 is the phone number. 529